Good afternoon and welcome back to Talking Planning. And today I've just come back from lunch, had a good time, and what I'm off to do is go and show you a rare occurrence on the ferry network, if it's still there. So I'll check in with you in just a minute. This looks just like any other old day. It's the 17th of December 2020, and apart from being a little overcast, Teneriffe Ferry Terminal looks normal. And there's a CityCat departing for the next stop, Bulimba Ferry Terminal. And as I make my way down the gangway, it's departing for Bulimba. And you can see what's probably Brisbane's ugliest CityCat, Tugulawa, cutting across its path, and it's going to let this CityCat take its place. This seems entirely normal, but think about what might be missing from this scene. If you notice there's a lack of a cross-river ferry, either in the form of a KittyCat or a monohull ferry, you're onto a winner here. So by now you should be pretty familiar with the ferry network on this channel, and you would probably know that the main ferry that does the Teneriffe-Bulimba cross-river service was Kalparrin, and since River City Ferries took over and the new City Hopper ferries were delivered, there's certainly a chance that you would have seen any of the 5 new ferries on board. So it's equally surprising to see a CityCat doing a cross-river ferry service, and we're going to jump on board once it pops back over to Teneriffe, so I'll check in with you then. The CityCat that you just saw before, Merbapa, has actually decided to pop back from Bulimba, as it's now actually running a cross-river ferry service. Yes, this is the same CityCat that I reviewed in another one of my earlier ferry videos, but it's still pretty cool to see it operating such a short distance service. I always enjoy watching ferries dock because it's a far more involved process than is required for buses, trains or trams. And as our CityFerry replacement CityCat arrives, Jetstar's coolest looking Airbus A320, the Jaffa Jet, blasts past on its final approach into Brisbane. And from there, as the ferry docks, I'm almost ready to jump on board. I'm on board and we're waiting to go. As usual, the cross-river service is pretty quiet, but as I wait a few more minutes for our ferry to depart, I was expecting at least one other passenger to rock up, but they didn't. So not only was a much larger vessel than usual being used on the service, but I was the only passenger as well. And like any other CityCat, it was still staffed with a full complement of crew, consisting of a ferry master, a deckhand and a ticketing officer. That means there's 3 crew to serve 1 passenger. But anyway, since we're now ready to go, let's cross the Brisbane River on board a cross-river CityCat service. This crossing was made slightly longer as we had to wait for another CityCat to depart, but overall, the journey was only about 3 minutes or so to cross the river. and as we cross, you'll get a lovely view of both sides of the river, which is always delightful. So now that I'm on the other side, the question is, what are the destination signs going to say? Alrighty, and there we are. So that was getting a CityCat on a cross-river ferry service from Teneriffe to Bulimba. From the Bulimba side, you get a lovely view over Teneriffe. So let's take a closer look and watch that CityCat cross-river service depart one more time. Check out the buildings and wait for the next ferry to come across. On the way back across the river, you can see Merbapa again. And given that the rain looks like it's setting in again, I think it's time to jump off a ferry and jump on the bus and start heading somewhere a little drier. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.